Hi, this is Daniel for Vile, Jaconic Magazine's metal section. Today we have as our guest James McVeigh from the band Hellripper. They're going to be playing in Candelabra Metal Fest on their third edition in León on the 7th and 8th of September, 2014. James, it's awesome to have you, man. How you doing?
Thank you for speaking to me, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Yeah, I'm
It's
excited
great.
excited to come over there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, I'm sure you're gonna kick ass, bro. It's gonna be amazing.
Thank you.
Finally see you live here in Mexico,
Yeah.
at least myself. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. So James, I don't know if you can give us a little bit more insights on how the band formed. I know that like pretty much like a one man band, let's say. Like obviously you invite some other musicians whenever you play live. You've been playing since 2014, but I don't know if you can tell us a little bit more about it.
Yeah. So I've always been into since I got into metal, I've always been into like thrash and kind of the faster side of things. And I was really into bands like Venom, Dark Throne, Toxic Holocaust,
Mhm.
Midnight, Whip Striker,
Right.
kind of the metal punk, black speed, black thrash kind of thing that was going on.
Mhm.
Um, but at the time, I wasn't really involved in my local scene.
Okay.
Um, when I had the idea to form Hellripper, I wasn't really involved. A lot of the shows, like I was too young to go into, like a lot of the shows would be in like pubs and stuff that were like 18. You had to be 18 to get in, and I think I had the idea for Hellripper when I was like 17 or had just turned 18, so I didn't really
Oh, okay.
go get involved with the scene at that time. And so I didn't know much people that were into similar music as me. Like I didn't know anyone else that listened to, Midnight or um, Bewitched or whatever, something like that. And so
Mhm.
I decided that instead of waiting to find people, because I had tried, I'd put up ads online and stuff like that. And I thought instead of waiting to find people, I'm just gonna see if I can learn to record myself and mix and
Yeah.
do all that kind of thing while writing the music that I want to write and see
Mhm.
what happens. And that was basically it. And I wanted to record an EP. I had some songs, and I wanted to record an EP, put it
Uh-huh.
online, and maybe a few people in my local scene would hear it and would like it. And that was kind of the only goal. That was the expectation with Hellripper, really. And then, yeah, the band grew. More people from all over the world started hearing of the band, just because of the internet, just because of YouTube or Bandcamp. The word spread, I guess. And yeah, we there started to be some sort of demand for shows, in the local scene. And then I put a band together with some friends, and it just kind of grew from there, putting out more music, getting more shows, going to new places. And yeah, it's been crazy. The last few years have just been, from having no expectations and just being happy that anyone listened to the music, like one person listened to the music, and now it's where it is now, and we're coming over there to Mexico for the first time and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I can totally tell, man. So, I mean, is it like I mean, you still like pretty much do all the music, like basically you compose everything, like I don't know, the drums, bass,
Yeah.
everything. Then you just have so other musicians to like learn it, or like how does that work? Like,
So on the recordings, like on the albums and all that kind of stuff, it's just me still. It's the exact same process as it was
Oh.
at the start.
Hmm.
I still use basically the same equipment as I did 10 years ago or whenever I started recording.
Hmm.
It's still the exact same process, really, with a few minor changes, So it's crazy. It's still the same. And then yeah, I've got a live band. Um, we've had a few members over the years, but
Hmm.
the current live band has been the same band for about 5 years now, just over 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I kind of think of the the kind of studio side of things and the live side of things. It's almost like two different bands. I kind of think of it.
Yeah.
There's a different kind of mindset with it.
Mhm.
In the studio, you know, it's all me. I'm doing everything, and I like to like experiment, put loads of layers on things, you know, add loads of different guitars, some atmosphere, try different like vocal layering and production stuff, you know, that kind of thing. And then the live side of things, it's kind of um the guys can do what they want with the songs, you know, like they can add their own spin on things,
Right.
and it's more kind of balls to the wall, kind of rock and roll fast, um, you know, kind of early 80s Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer kind of thing, just rock and roll AC/DC kind of
Mhm.
thing. It's kind of two different approaches, and kind of it kind of fills both my like my favorite things. You know,
Uh-huh.
I love the experimenting and the production and all that kind of thing, but I love just simple rock and roll, fast, good time, crazy live shows. So yeah, it's cool in that respect.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. And I mean, when you started playing, like you were a guitar player, or you actually learned how to like play all instruments? I know with technology
Like,
and all that now it's easier to
yeah,
program stuff, right? But I don't know.
yeah. So I mean, when I started, I mean, I was a guitar player, but I mean, the idea of Hellripper kind of came because I'd like tried different bands, you know, with friends, like we'd try and play stuff, um, but it would be more complex stuff. You know, we were into like bands like Iron Maiden and things like that. So we'd try and play that kind of thing. And
Mhm.
I was never a good guitar player, especially lead guitar. I never played lead guitar. I was always kind of interested in rhythm. So I could
Mhm.
never do solos. I could never do like really complicated music. In and when I listen to thrash, you know, like bands like Megadeth or Annihilator, or even Metallica and stuff like that,
Mhm.
some of it is really technical. Some of the riffs are really difficult to play and things like that. And I heard this scene, you know, bands like Toxic Holocaust, Venom, Dark Throne, and I was like, this is the kind of music I like, but it's not it's not complex. There's no like crazy Jeff Waters, Marty Freeman type solos.
Right.
And so I thought, this is like this I can like it kind of inspired me to do this, and especially as a lot of these guys in this scene were like one man bands or two man or
Mhm.
DIY, you know, Toxic Holocaust, Midnight, Whip Striker,
Right.
Dark Throne, of course, was just two of them kind of doing stuff DIY.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, the whole yeah, coming into Hellripper, that was the inspiration, you know, just that kind of music. And
Mhm.
over the years, I think I've kind of developed my skills, and I'm better at guitar, I'm better at vocals, um, just through practicing and just through playing live regularly and just through um, writing more and more and trying to, you know, come up with new um, original ideas, I guess, for
Mhm.
Hellripper. So it's yeah, it's kind of like a journey. Like you kind of
Yeah.
see, I kind of progress um as the as time goes on. I kind of progress with the records, and the same you can hear with the influences as well. You know, I'm always discovering new music. I'm always into different music. I'm always, you know, trying to find new bands, new different genres and stuff. And so my taste and my influences kind of develop as the years go on as well. And so, you know, I'm not like I haven't got my five bands that I listen to and then the rest of the music forever will sound like
Yeah.
that. I'm always trying to kind of expand and um hopefully bring something different to each album, but still keep it within the Hellripper um vibe, aesthetic, kind of thing. You know, it's always going to be speed metal. It just depends what's going to surround and complement the speed metal. You know, one album might be more black metal kind of vibes, one might be more punk, one might be more um I don't know, like death metal influences or something like that. But it's always got to be thrash speed kind of thing.
Right.
Um and I think yeah, it keeps it interesting. It keeps it fun for me, keeps it interesting for me, and hopefully it keeps it interesting for people as well.
Definitely, like fresh for the audience is kind of sometimes bands they just keep on playing like the same thing over and over and over again, and I don't
Yeah.
know. For example, with the last album, the Warlock Scream and Wither Hacks, which I mean, for those that don't know, is like your latest
Mm.
album released last
Yeah.
year. Is there any particular influence that you got for this album? Were you listening to some bands in particular?
Yeah. So I mean, there was a lot of I was listening to a lot of like bands like Watain, um, for example, and I felt over the years as well, writing more songs, you kind of develop I develop my skill as a songwriter, and I'm kind of more, you see what kind of works together, what doesn't work, and then I've with the last album, I felt I was kind of more confident to kind of try new things
Hmm.
without it being a mess, really. But so yeah, there's bands like that, and bands like Typo Negative and Opeth, like stuff kind of
Yeah.
outside this style, that I brought in there, and in particular the song "Goat Vomit Nightmare," which is kind of a rock and roll, kind of one of the more, I guess, simple songs, or more, whatever you want to call it, on the album. That was kind of inspired by a lot of stuff, like guitar wise, by like Billy Strings, who's a bluegrass guitarist, and uh, loads of stuff like Jimi Hendrix, Joe Bonamassa, Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler, that
Hmm.
kind of thing. I was into that kind of guitar playing while writing that song, and I wanted to just see if I could take that influence and put it into a Hellripper package. So that song's, fun to play. There's some different chords on guitar that I wouldn't usually play in a Hellripper song, uh, and some rhythms and stuff like that. So that was cool, and it's something I don't think you really notice unless you were like really paying attention. It still sounds like Hellripper, but
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of the influences I have, like they kind of creep in there subtly, or especially if it's something like the Beatles, uh,
Hmm.
or whatever. You might hear it more in the song structures, or the way certain things are phrased or whatever, rather than a
Uh-huh.
direct kind of influence, if you know what I mean, if I'm making
Yeah, yeah,
sense.
no, definitely it does. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, yeah,
yeah,
someone that actually listens to music, yeah, will be able to tell, right?
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't know. It's weird because it's obviously I know what I know the songs. I know what I'm putting into the songs, and it's interesting because yeah, people hear different things. Someone will say, "Oh, I can clearly tell you were listening to this band when you wrote this song," and
Uh-huh.
I've never listened to that band ever before.
All
But
right.
it may sound similar, and it's interesting to hear like people hear different things, and um yeah, it's cool. There's always like different interpretations of the music, the where it came from, and all that kind of stuff, which I think is really cool.
It is indeed, yeah. Especially like a lot of people like, like these true metal guys, they're always like, oh, why you listen to this and all of these bands,
Mm,
right? If you're into metal, right? But the interesting thing is that when like musicians, do all of these records, like they have all of these interests and influence that, perhaps had nothing to do with metal, right? So I
yeah,
mean, it's funny, like, people are like,
yeah,
no, true metal, you know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone's different, I guess, and if that's what you're into, then it it's cool. It's if that's what you're into, and that's what your influences are, and you put that into a band, songs, then it's authentic. It's great. I don't want to, for example, like taking like kind of everything I just said there, like putting different things in to keep it interesting and all of that kind of thing. I also think it's very effective and very fun just to have a very simple, um, no kind of nothing new, just something good. If it's a good song, it doesn't matter whether it's a 10-minute long prog epic thing, or if it's a 2-minute long punk song. If it's a good song, it's a good song, no matter how different or whatever it is. So yeah, just to contradict almost everything I said there.
Right. I wanted to ask you just like this, like a curious fact kind of thing. I don't know if this is true, so that's what I want to ask you. I think when you recorded Coagulating Darkness, is it true that actually, I think, I think you did this album together with another band or somebody else, and there was this thing that I think their parents or something were in the guest vocalist of the album. I'm not sure if that's
Oh no, that was no, that was my parents were guest vocals in
oh,
the
was it?
album.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so yeah, I was just recording what song? I can't remember the songs, but yeah, I was just recording,
Uh-huh.
and I needed a like a gang vocal, you know, like a kind of hardcore punk
Uh-huh.
gang vocal type thing, shouting.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, my parents were downstairs like watching TV, so I just went down. I was like, do you want to come and shout stuff on the album?" They were like, "Yeah." And yeah, I think there's two songs that they're on. I think I can't
Uh-huh.
remember, but yeah,
Right.
yeah, it was yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, yeah. When I was checking like some interviews and stuff that you did, I was like, oh my God, yeah. How did that happen? Like, my parents probably would be like, oh God, that's so satanic or something like that. They would be freaking out for sure. Great, man. And what can we expect on this on Candelabrum? Do you have any special set or something that you have planned for this live presentation?
Well, we're just going to make it as wild as possible. You know, we're going to play fast. It's going to be rock and roll. I'm not sure on the set yet.
Mhm.
It's a weird one because yeah, we've never been over there before, and so we have however many songs, you know, 3 albums and all the EPs and stuff that no one has heard over there
Mhm.
live. So it's kind of like, yeah, we're going to need to try and kind of bring stuff from every album or whatever.
Mhm.
Try and spread it out. I'll probably ask people as well online. I'll probably ask people what kind of stuff
Uh-huh.
they want to hear, and then we'll see. But yeah, we just want to make it a fast show, wild. Hopefully, the audience are getting into it and going crazy. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope people enjoy the set. I'm sure I will.
Definitely, definitely we will. Man, it's been great talking to you. We obviously be looking forward to see you on the weekend of the 7th of the 8th September, Candelabro Metal Fest on their third edition. So I appreciate your time giving us all of these insights
Thank you,
about
man.
your band, and definitely our fans and everybody will be there to check you guys out for sure.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you talking to me, and yeah, we'll see you there. I'm looking forward to
All right. Thank you very much, James. Take care.
it.
Thank you, man.